Hey guys, Steve again. Another tip. Always lots of tips. I always seem to spontaneously do the tips just when I feel like, just when I'm doing them, and I think, yeah, I'll just share it because I worked on a bit of a different angle myself. Well, the other day I had to go to the dentist. As we all know, we hate dentists. But you know what? While she was out doing something, I was looking at her tools on her little bench there, and I thought, I wonder if you can buy those tools. They could be good for filling. If you can't fill teeth, you can maybe fill wood. Sure enough, look up on eBay. You can buy dental kits anyway. So you can be a practicing dentist if you want, if you're game enough. I'd suggest instead of Novocaine, you get yourself a big hammer or a bottle of whiskey or something. But I wouldn't recommend doing home dentistry. But I bought a little kit. And in the little kit, this was, maybe you can just sort of see this, maybe back a little bit. This is one of the ones in the little kit. The rest of them were hooks. Ooh, yeah, I get this sort of vision of like plaque being ripped off my teeth. So, but I like this one. This is really good. Now, I'll turn the camera around. Now, this is the bench. The bench is coming on. One thing, and this is particularly for guys internationally rather than guys locally. This is it's Australian timber, Australian hardwood timber called messmate. And generally messmate is a mixture of a bit of ironbark, messmate, Vic ash, Tasmanian ash, and it's all varied, and I think they call it messmate, but it's a bit of everything. As you can see, look at the variances of the different timbers. Now, this one, for instance, is quite light, and it's actually quite a light board. Look how dirty my hands look in the light. Ugh, they're not really that dirty. Must be the light. Anyway, sorry, diversified. Now, this one here is a bit of, as you can see, it's obviously this pinker colour. But that's really dense, and that one's really heavy, so remember. Now, the trouble is, this stuff is really, really dense. Now, I've got some amazing sanders, and I've even gone past the Rotex, because sometimes the Rotex on this stuff, you got to trust me, the Rotex is like rubbing fairy floss across it. So I've even got the one of the heavy-duty ones, which I showed you that time with the disaster and dust going everywhere from my stupid machine wasn't plugged into the vac, so of course you'll get that. But look, the problem with this is when you come over to a gum vein, we get gum veins. Now we use a product. Well, look. There's a lot of ways you can do it. This is a product called Timbermate. It's damn good stuff. This is ebony, because with this recycled timber, it's really dry. It's really hard, and I'm talking about hard. I mean, if you compared to this to American white oak, trust me, American white oak's like it's like pine compared to this stuff. But you get all these gum veins, and one of the best ways to fill up the gum veins is the black. But now it looks grey at the moment, but it really will come up jet black when it's got the oil on it. Always looks quite good. But the trouble with the product is that it stains the wood either side of what you're trying to fill. So I found with this little dentist pick, it's kind of good just to keep when you're doing some of these minor fillings. Now I'll come over to my little pick, and I'll see if I can do this, because I've got to hold the phone with one hand while I do it. Now, here's a bit of a gap here. And so what I do is I just get that, I push that down into that gap, and try not to get too much on the balance. Otherwise, I'm going to be sanding for the next half an hour, trying to get the balance off. So that's probably good enough. And now that will come out, that comes out fairly easy because it's fairly local. But it's when you sort of fill this and you have a big area, the big area all around here takes you ages to try and sand off just to fill in that little bit. So I found this little dentist thing. It's quite cool. I only just used it today. It's the first day I got it. I only just got it from eBay. Now, look, here's a little hole here. So you just fill the hole, just like a dentist. Which reminds me, probably have to go to the dentist soon enough, damn it. Don't we all? Don't we all dread it? Okay, look, see, here's another one. You got these little wormy holes. There's no more worms in it, of course. But, geez, don't give up my day job and become a dentist, Steve. Holy crap, this is tricky. I thought it'd be really, oh, there we go. There you go, that looks pretty good. So yeah, you just go around and just spot do it. So, there's today's trick. The little dentist pick. Well, not pick, little spadey thing. So next time you're the dentist, tell the dentist, look, you yell out, look, there's a spider, and then when they look at the spider, you just quickly knock it off. Sorry, Steve's Festool shop talk does not encourage theft in dentistry. Okay, anyway, that was a good little tip. The other one is I have a little palette knife. I find that one's kind of pretty cool too. It's an artist palette knife. I got it from like one of the stationery stores, not something like Bunnings, but something like a stationery store, because it's like an artist palette. Anyway, there's a tip for today. Children, get to it and go and buy yourself a dentist pick.